is Anna and I'm an occupational therapist. Today we're going to do some baking. Baking is a great activity to do with kids because it's a chance to work on a number of different skills. There's scooping, there's pouring, there's stirring, a chance to have both hands work together, and even some sneaky math in there. It's also really adaptable to the skill level of the kiddo. The best part, getting to eat something delicious at the end. So come on, let's get baking. Let's get ready to crumble. Dun 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 na 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 dun dun na 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 na. For the filling, you're going to need about 4 cups of bite-sized fruit. Some ideas are berries, apples, pears, peaches, rhubarb, but use what you have on hand. 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. For the topping, you will need a half cup of flour, a half cup of oats, a half cup of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt, and 1/3 of a cup of melted butter, margarine, or coconut oil if you want to make it dairy-free. You can also add some optional things like shredded coconut or nuts if you like. For the equipment, you're going to need an 8 by 8 inch square pan, measuring cups, measuring spoons, a liquid measuring cup, 2 mixing bowls, and a wooden spoon. If you need to prep your fruit, you might need some other things like a cutting board, a paring knife, or a peeler. Let's get started. Our very first step is to wash our hands with soap and water. Make sure you do a really good scrub and then rinse with the water and dry your hands, and then we can get going. Next, turn the oven on to 350 degrees so it can heat up. So the first step is to prep our fruit. You may not need to do this depending what you picked, but since I was using 2 apples and some frozen mixed berries, I needed to prep my apples. This is a great time to talk about kitchen safety, like using knives and peelers. Kids need to learn how to use these in a safe manner and need to be taught and supervised as well as they need safe risks to learn to be independent. First, we need to grease the pan. I'm using margarine paper, but you can use whatever you have on hand, like Pam or vegetable oil or butter. Now let's prep the filling. I have my 4 cups of fruit already in a bowl, so let's start with the sugar. I pre-measured mine so that I could scoop 1 of the tablespoons and then just pour the other tablespoon in. Next, we add the 2 tablespoons of flour. I pre-measured the flour from the filling and the topping into 1 container, so I've just scooped out the 2 tablespoons, and the rest will be used in the topping in a little bit. Last is the lemon juice. Make sure to give it a good shake if you're using bottled lemon juice like me, and then pour it into the tablespoon and into the mixture with the rest of the fruit. Now grab your wooden spoon and give it a good mix. We want all the pieces of fruit covered with the flour and the sugar and then lemon juice. This helps it get a bit of a nice sauce while it's cooking. Now grab that greased pan that you put aside and dump the fruit right into the middle of it. You may need to use a wooden spoon to scrape some of the stuff off the bottom. Save a couple pieces if you want to do a surprise design at the end. Now take that wooden spoon and kind of squish your fruit down so it's all in one level, kind of flat. Just like that, yeah. Now put the pan with the fruit to one side and grab another mixing bowl. First, grab the oats. I put double the amount of oats in here so it's easier to scoop my half cup. But since I decided I was only going to dump in the brown sugar, I pre-measured half a cup and I can just put it straight in. My flour is also pre-measured at half a cup, but this time instead of dumping or scooping, I'm going to practice pouring it into the cup. Do it right over the bowl so there's no mess. Next, scoop the half teaspoon of cinnamon and put it into the bowl with the rest of the ingredients. Not gonna lie, I had a really hard time getting the cinnamon out of the bottom of that jar. To get a pinch of salt, pour a little bit into your hand and then pinch it. Yep, you got it, just like that, and then sprinkle it into the bowl. Awesome. Now grab your wooden spoon. It's time to mix everything together. We want to give it a really good stir so that everything all mixes together. This would be a really good time to take turns and give everybody a chance to do some mixing. Last but not least, we have the butter. You could also use margarine or coconut oil if you want to make this dairy-free, but I had butter, so that's what I'm using. So you just pour it over all the dry ingredients, and now we're going to mix it up again. This is a great time to take turns again with mixing. We want to do a really good job stirring in that butter so that it's fully incorporated. The mixture is going to kind of look darker now and perhaps a little bit sticky. It's going to change a lot. This is what mine looks like. What about yours? Now it's time to put the two together. Grab the fruit that you had put aside. I find it easiest to sprinkle the topping on with my hands. What does it feel like in your hands? To me, it felt a little crumbly, maybe a little sticky, and mine was still warm from the butter. Sprinkle the topping all over the fruit. We want a good layer and to get each corner. When this cooks, it becomes crispy and sweet and crunchy, and you want some with every bite. I sprinkled some almonds on mine, as well as I used some extra fruit to make a happy face. You can put whatever design you wanted to. Time to put the crumble in the oven. Remember, the oven is hot, so ask an adult for help. Bake at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or until the fruit is bubbly. When the timer goes, ask an adult to take it out of the oven for you. Ooh, that looks tasty. I ate mine with yogurt, but it's delicious plain as well. Enjoy!